I'm wondering, you guys were flying high, winning 7 in a row. Everything was going well. And then you get the news about Andrew Miller. How tough is it for a team to absorb something like that? Because he's such an important part of the team.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's obviously his first year over here in New York, and he's been better than expected. I mean, we've obviously faced him the last few years out of the bullpen, whether it be with Boston and Baltimore, and he's just got lights out stuff, and he's stepped in and done a great job as our closer. But we're going to be without him for a couple weeks, and we obviously do have another good reliever in Dylan Betances who's going to fill in, I'm sure, and do a great job. But just mixes things up a little bit. We're going to have to find a way to get by without him, and offensively, we're going to have to find a way to maybe score a few more runs and take a little pressure off the back end of that bullpen.
Now, Brett, it's been amazing. I mean, this is year 3 in which this team has had to deal with just so many injuries and so much adversity. Does it make you stronger? Do you get used to it when you have it happen so often?
I wouldn't say you get used to it. I mean, it's definitely frustrating when you lose a big piece like Andrew or with Jacoby getting hurt a few weeks ago with his knee. But, it could always be worse. And, thank goodness, knock on wood, other than those two guys, we've remained in pretty good shape. So, we can we've got a lot of depth. Mason Williams just came up, and he's going to start playing for us, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job. And got a couple new additions to the bullpen, and I think Chris Martin's back off the disabled list starting today. And we'll have to find a ways to get by without these guys and hold the fort down until they get back.
Brett, is it hard to believe when you look at the American League East, and over a third of the season is done, and nobody's really pulled away and nobody's really dropped out of it? How bunched up everybody is?
Yeah, I mean, we always seem to do a pretty good job of beating up on each other, and we haven't. I don't feel like we've played our best baseball. At times we've played really well, but at times we've played pretty crappy too. And just a matter of trying to find that consistency and be able to maintain it, not just individually, but as a unit, as a team. And hopefully, I feel like we still have our best baseball left to play. And even though everybody's grouped pretty close together and there's a lot of parity in our division, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot, and we've got a pretty good team. We got a good group of guys, and I think we're going to have a strong summer and a strong finish to the season.
Brett, we talk about what team should Yankee fans be the most scared of. Is it the Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays, Red Sox? And we seem to both agree that the team that really maybe can play a lot better is Baltimore. As you see this team get ready for them at Camden Yards, do you believe that's a team that could get back to what they were last year?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think that I wouldn't count anybody out, especially this early in the season. Every team in our division has their strengths and weaknesses, but I feel like all 5 teams are capable of going on a run and really playing some really good baseball. And I think everybody's proven that so far this year. And Baltimore always plays us tough the past few years, especially. We've really played a lot of close games with them. It seems like everything goes right down to the wire, and I'm sure this weekend will be no different. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and it's obviously a little different being on the road, but we'll try and win the first game, and our goal is always to win 2 out of 3, win the series.
We're talking with Brett Gardner here on the Michael Kay Show tonight, the Yankees against the Orioles. You've been there a long time, Brett, and you've seen it all. Are you surprised at how well both Teixeira and A-Rod have done? A-Rod coming off a season where he's suspended, Teixeira coming off an injury-ravaged last 2 seasons. Are you surprised they've been this good?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I'm definitely pleased, especially hitting in front of them in the lineup and doing my best to try and get on base for them and give them RBI opportunities. But those 2 guys have been really, really good for a long time. In the last couple of years, Tex obviously had the wrist injury that he's been dealing with, and Alex between the suspension last year and the hip issue right before that. I don't think a lot of people necessarily knew what to expect, but I definitely had high hopes and high expectations for both of them, and they've both been great. And hopefully we can keep them both on the field almost every night, and they're going to keep producing runs in the middle of the lineup.
And Brett, since Ellsbury's been out, I mean, you are literally the only option to steal a base. So what is that responsibility? And just break down the anatomy of when to go and the responsibility you feel to try to get that extra base when you're on.
Well, I mean, it just depends on the situation. I mean, a lot of times I get on first base, and the other team and the fans and everybody in the stands and on TV might think I'm stealing, but in the back of my mind, I know I'm not. And other times it's a little more important to try and move over in a scoring position and take a chance. So, with Jacoby being out, just try to continue to play my game. And obviously him being out of the lineup changes things for everybody, but just try and continue to stay within myself, and both offensively and on the base paths and out on defense. So just try and get on base, and like we talked about, those two big guys in the middle of the lineup, and McCann right behind them, and Chase Headley's been swinging the bat better. Some guys at the bottom of the lineup have been swinging the bat better, and just makes it easier for us to score runs.
Well, other than McCann, you have the best view of what the pitchers got. Do you think that Masahiro Tanaka is back to what he was at the beginning of last season?
It sure looks like it. I've been in center field his last couple of starts since coming back off the disabled list, and just watching his ball move, and the way he's able to locate his pitches, especially his off-speed pitches, he's looked really, really good. And hopefully, I don't think you can expect him to go 7-8 innings and no runs or one run every time out. I don't think that's fair. But if he can continue to throw the ball the way that he's been looking the last couple starts, it makes me really, really excited, because he's a guy that he could be a big game changer for us if he can stay healthy the rest of the way.
And what growth have you seen in Pineda from last year to this year?
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, we've had him for a few years, but as soon as we got him, he was obviously dealing with that shoulder injury for what seemed like a couple of years. And just to see him come back strong and the way that he's pitched, I know that he hasn't pitched in a week or so. I think they skipped his start last week, but just looking forward to going out there and playing behind him tonight. I'm sure he's obviously well rested, ready to go, and he's quite a competitor. He's a lot of fun to watch him work, and I know that he's going to go out there and give us his best.
Now, one final thing, Brett, is it just me, or are the Yankees on the road every single day?
It sure seems like it. We've played a lot. We've played a lot of games on the road. It seems like our longest homestand this year has been 4 days. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think that hopefully later on in the season, maybe August and September, maybe we'll play a few more games at home. But it seems like we spent a lot of time on the road. But like I said, hopefully that means brighter days are ahead.